What is going on, everyone? It is Foul Play here, back for another Modern League. So we have Strixhaven out at the moment, and a few people running around running that red-white deck. Was fortunate enough to play against one a couple of days ago, and we did actually get the victory as well, which was very nice. So yeah, looking again today to do something similar. Hopefully I'll get this video out on time. I am recording it a little bit late, but I'll do my best to get it up in time for everyone to watch. Yeah, so I'm going to do an unchanged list from what I ran last league. Basically, my plan is to just dodge Esper control and cross our fingers that way. But yeah, we should be pretty well placed against most other things. We've got our standard land base, and for our auras, it's mostly standard. We've reintroduced 3 Path to Exiles into the deck. We're only running 2 core Spirit Dancers, but Ethereal Armor at 4, Grisburn at 3, Hyena Umber at 4. Sentinel's Eyes at 3. Sentinel's Eyes has been great. Let's keep it going. Rancor at 4. Spider Umber at 3. Spirit Mantle at 2. And Daybreak at 4. So these extra sources of vigilance are really good in the Prowess matchups. But yeah, a lot of the time they can grow their creatures quite big. So pairing it with Totem Armor is very important as well. That's why we've got 7 instances of Totem Armor. Side note of being reasonable against Tron. Alright, so sideboard wise, we've got 1 of Damping Sphere to pair with our 2 Gadok Tig for the Tron matchup. Also splashing across to, I guess, a little bit Prowess and Storm as well. I got Torpor Orb here for against humans and Spirit type decks. Those archetypes did get a few cards printed, so we can expect to see a few of them as well. Dayside in here for specifically Heliod combo, a little bit the mirror as well. Suppression Field, mostly Heliod combo, but more versatile than Dayside. We can bring it in more matchups, like we can bring it in against Hatebears as well. Rest in Peace in here for Graveyard decks, 3 Leylines of Sanctity for Discard and Burn, and 2 Force of Vigor in here for artifacts and enchantments. No Lurrus as a companion today, unfortunately. No room in the sideboard. I've gone for a very greedy and diverse sideboard, so I really couldn't afford the space, unfortunately. So here we are against our match 1 opponent. We won the draw and going to be on the play. Versing God's Shadow here. See what the 7 looks like. Opponent with the Lurrus Companion. Sound looks pretty decent. We're missing a white mana source, but other than that, it looks pretty crazy. Triple Ethereal Armor is going to be pretty fast. I'm going to say that much. Alright, pass it to our opponent. See what they have for us. Mish's Bobble. So this could be red-white Prowess. It could be Shadow. Could be red-black Prowess. Jund Shadow, etc. Watery Grave, Grixis, or just blue-black control. You're fresh out of luck, opponent. You are fresh out of luck. This hand is insane. Ready to comment down here of just like, God damn my life. Opponent concedes. Oh, did I tell you people this hand was good, or did I tell you it was good? Alright, let's bring in these Leyline of Sanctities. There's not like too much to tell. I mean, well, Rest in Peace could be good, or it could just be a blank. We're really not sure. Path to Exile, I mean, like, it's good if we're against a shadow deck, but it could be awkward if we're against something else. Core Spirit Dance is probably getting removed in most cases. Could be okay as like a 1 or 2 of, like, top end late game kind of thing. If it's just something like blue-black, we also have to consider our opponent might have the likes of Engineered Explosives in their sideboard, which could be irritating. I think, like, let's leave in 1 Core Spirit Dancer. We'll take out a Core Spirit Dancer, a Path, and a Spirit Mantle. Not sure which way to hedge. I don't want to take out too many, like, evasive effects like Spirit Mantle or Grisburn, because if we're against a Shadow deck, obviously that we want to fly over the top. Alright, we'll keep this. Bottom the Dryad Arbor. We're, like, missing a lot of auras, but at least we protect our hand. We've got our mana, we've got our hexproof guy. We've got our 1 of Core Spirit Dancer. It's not quite where we want it. That'll do. Oh, opponent mulls to 5. How good is Leyline? Well, we are playing it out apparently. Oh, that's not a bad one at all. All right, well, we've started this league extremely lucky so far. All right, so Watery Grave in tapped, not attacking their own life total. That is information. Grixis Shadow? Okay. Odd. Alright, we'll attack for 4. We got Trample, we got First Strike. We don't have to worry about the Death Touch on this Maya Trident. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're not a Death Shadow deck if they're running a Maya Trident which gains them life. It's also weird though because they're not, they've not got like Gurmog Angler or anything. Wow. We are just drawing crazy well today. Explosive on 1 would obviously still be very good against us. Lure us to hand. We almost have lethal. Alright, attack for 10. Have they got the Death Shadow? Did they slow roll the Death Shadow with these Maya Tridents? We put them to 1. Opponent concedes. Alright, game 1's that easy. See you back shortly for game 2. Alright, welcome back for match number 2, everyone. We're versing Hollow Home. Lost the dial this time, so going to be on the draw. And it looks decent. We're going to need a little bit of help from the top of our library to get wins in most matchups here, but starting hand is very good. Definitely keeping this. Inspiring Vantage. Alright, this could be the red-white Prowess deck. Could just be Boros burn. Daybreak on top. Oh, they in the library for us. That's nice of our opponent. I would guess Goblin Guide's probably not in a red-white Prowess, and this is probably strictly just Boros burn. Alright, so currently we don't have access to Daybreak Coronet. This this trigger from the Goblin Guide's going to be important in our decision making. Spirit Mantle on top. I think we have to take it. It's going to be awkward if he plays Eidolon in the Great Revel second main. It's pretty common line. Okay. Or not. I'm going to take 1 point, get the basic planes, and then we'll just suit up our guy. This should be fine blocks wise, unless they're for some reason running Stomp and stop the protection effect with Stomp. Stomp being the other half of Bone Crusher Giant. So here I want to slow the game down a bit. Obviously an attack for 2, or if I played my other auras, an attack for 4 is not that impressive. But if we can slow the game down until we get Daybreak Coronet, that's going to be our best way to try and win here. Alright, double Lightning Bolt. We're all the way down to 9. Don't forget Goblin Guide's already dealt 4. Seal of Fire. Yep. I'm blocking that any day of the week. You're just giving me a free card, potentially. Attacking is hit like fine here as long as he doesn't hit exactly haste creature. And if we don't attack it, our opponent will like just return Lurrus and get the Seal of Fire back from the graveyard every turn. We have to provide some kind of clock here, even though I don't really like it. Alright, please be all land, opponent. So still not putting Lurrus to hand by the looks of things. Okay. Cycle Canopy, look for Daybreak. Alright, it's that easy, people. Not over. Skullcrack could still be, like, very good. Okay, Skullcrack the face. Just attack with the fucking Lightning Bolt as well. In case he draws a another haste creature, we can only afford to attack with one guy. Alright. In for 7. Fingers crossed that he misses here. Let's see. You're kidding me, man. Creature? Creature? Ah, yes. Paying cost would have been the Lurrus active, but he's just conceded. Okay, lucky us. That was pretty fortunate, I'm not gonna lie. Here on the draw, obviously Leyland's good regardless in this matchup, but on the draw I like Force of Vigor because it plays along. It beats Eidolon of the Great Revel, which is a big issue for us. There we go, we got the words out. These cards are our interaction. Weak auras would probably be these Griff Spoons here, would be our weakest aura. Followed by Spirit Mantle, although that was kind of nice then. It's not necessary that we want necessarily all our paths here. We could remove one. We've only got like 65 cards in here. These paths were obviously already in the deck. I just consider them like non-aura spells. That's why I put them here with these sideboard cards. So let's take out Spirit Dancer and Griff Spoon and just bring in the Ley Lines and Force of Vigors. This is a pretty pog 7. Let's do the Dirty Keep. Have you ever seen a better hand against Burn YouTube? Holy moly. We might have to be like, alright, so when you're like this far ahead, you always want to hedge your bets against what your opponents do, against like the random fringe things they can do that will beat you. One thing could be Deflecting Palm, another thing could be Run a Skullcracks, another thing could be Wear Tear. So I'll play around what I can, if I can. Opponents mulled all the way down to 5. It was very quick from 6 down to 5 there. All right. Leyline away. All right, there's the Goblin Guide. And what are we revealing? Not bad, not bad. Rift Bolt exile. Alright, no blocks. Sentinel's Eyes on top, so that's really good. We're going to be able to attack with a 4-2. Leave it unblocked. Not that we can block without first strike. But it's good because it helps play around that wear tear, right? Interesting. One card left in my opponent's hand. Okay, we don't need to be that scared about them. Let's get out double aura so another wear tear isn't just like ridiculously good against us. Don't forget we also revealed the Daybreak Coronet, so they chose to use wear tear on the Leyline of Sanctity knowing that we had Daybreak Coronet in hand there. And 3 damage will come down from this Rift Bolt as well. So we're on a virtual like 9 at the moment. There was, of course, the potential to just path my opponent's Goblin Guard in response to their attack, but then we have like 1 less aura on the field. We're not guaranteed to make our land drop for next turn, and then it's a vulnerable Daybreak. Also, we're like taking 2 damage to prevent the 2 damage that the opponent's Goblin Guard would be making or doing. Alright, Spirit Mantle on top. Opponent tapped out. We're going to be gaining 7 here. And then they have to try and win post that. Lure us to hand as one of their cards. I mean, they did know about this. Not a whole lot that they can do about it though, right? If he attacks here, I'm not blocking. If he plays Lurus, I still can't technically block. If he's got a wear tear, he blows up my first strike, I'm in trouble. He knows about the Spirit Mantle here. Second Daybreak. Path the Lurus here for good sport, and yeah, then we'll swing in for 1 million. Ah, opponent concedes. Boo. Alright, not too shabby. 2-0. On to the next one. Alright, welcome back for match number 3, everyone. We won the die roll on the play versus the Mad Dollmaker. We're going to keep this hand. I'm going to jinx myself and say hopefully this isn't a rack deck. I think we are pretty good against most things that aren't the rack, but against the rack, you know, make us sack our creature, we cry a little. Ah, mono white Hatebears. Well, Giver of Runes is annoying, but we do have the Spirit Mantle here. Another evasive effect? Nope. Let's be aggressive as possible and attack for 5. Opponent access to a maximum of 2 mana here. I guess if we draw land, we can do 9 damage next attack. What? There's some sort of flash creature I should be playing around, or what's the go here? Let's slow roll this Spirit Mantle. I think it's most likely that my opponent might Skyclave Apparition here. I'll still do a big enough attack that he probably feels the need to block, and then we'll get rid of the pesky Giver of Runes. Alright. Giver down. Unlike Mother of Runes, it can't target itself. Ah, they path their own Giver. Well, they do take 1 point of damage there, so that's fine. The main issue is here, like when Skyclave Apparition comes down, it's going to remove Ethereal Armor, which is removing 5 power. So we should be okay as long as he doesn't have multiple of these effects, whether it's through another Skyclave or a Flicker Wisp. Or we should just be okay. Sure. Ring on the hurt. Opponent concedes. Alright. Well, we had it all. Opponent's hand was a bit awkward. Let's go. Game 1 against Hatebears. I'll take it. Alright, so Suppression Field's really good in this matchup. So is Torpor Orb. Force Vigor is like okay. Mostly because it answers their sword package from Stoneforge Mystic. Don't really want anything else in the sideboard. Path to Exile is like a bit iffy, so is Core Spirit Dancer. Like a lot of their creatures are not that impressive. The impressive thing is the ETB, not the actual creature, although if they start reoccurring and flickering these Skyclave Apparitions, that could be a problem. So maybe like a few paths are okay. The problem with them though is your opponent just protects it with their Giver of Runes, so unless you have a suppression field on the field at the same time, can be pretty dicey. Say probably our weakest aura in the matchup is Spider Umbra here. I value Griffspoon a lot higher. We need to take out 6 cards. Yeah, let's leave in a lucky Spirit Dancer, a lucky Path, and bring in all this good stuff. Alright, this hand looks like a pretty good place to start. Let's keep it. No turn 1 creature for the opponent. Yeah, one of Core Spirit Dancer to hand here. Thalia would be annoying here. Lead and Arbiter and like Land Destruction would be annoying here. I kind of want to resolve this suppression field if we can. Okay, Stoneforge Mystic. That's actually okay for us. This gives Flying First Strike and ETB equips. That's less than okay for us. I really don't like using Ethereal Armor here, but I value Griffspoon a bit higher than Ethereal Armor, and I guess we could have Sentinel's Eyes there, actually. Opponent can just hardcast Maul and attack for 3. Wouldn't be against that, opponent. Giver of Runes, here he is. Okay. You're going to path this Dryad Arbor in our upkeep or draw step? No. Right. It still kind of sucks. See if they activate in response. They got the Batterskull, or are they going in on Maul? Yeah, they've just got the Batterskull. Alright. Obviously, we can't attack into that Germ token. Giver of Runes, Stoneforge Mystic, they're both going to cost 2 extra to activate now. Hardcast Maul. Or they just have the Skyclave Apparition for the fisty. Alright. Ouch. Alright, land would be really good, not Windswept Heath though. Out at this point might be our opponent like literally having nothing, so we might need to Spirit Dancer, chain a million auras and win. I don't really like it, but I think we're far enough behind that we have to risk it. Alright, we concede. It's like way better with a Torpor Orb there. Just get rid of these Skyclave apparitions and stop them from being annoying. What would have really been helpful would have been like hitting our third land drop or having double white, so we could have played double like the Sentinel's Eyes and the Griff Spoon in the same turn. We were very limited on our choices there. Let's run it back. No land. Alright, what is with this garbage, man? Like... Five. Fucking hell, man. We literally can't catch a break here. Alright, whatever, keep. Ditch. Ditch. We need to dodge Path to Exile. This is like our 6-card hand, only one less card again, so go team. Still a Dryad Arbor hand with like Torpor Orb interaction, and it's just very uninspiring. We find the suppression field too. Alright, well this will turn off Stoneforge Mystic from fetching anything. We are obviously very vulnerable to Path. Or just Ghost Quarter active. Whoa, he goes after his own land there. Has he got the Path then? Or Thalia? Okay. This costs extra to cast, so just have to go for the Hyena Umbra and pass the turn. Force of Vigor pretty bad if he is not going in on Stoneforge. Alright, land is extremely important here. That is not land. Cool. Alright, well, we can actually start attacking next turn on our turn 5, so that'll be nice. In the meantime, though, we get all this fun stuff. No Ghost Quarter, cool. I can't believe our opponent didn't just kill our Dryad Arbor then. Alright, that's still okay. Razorvedge? It'll do. Oh, well that just enters tapped. Alright, we can't do much. We can attack here. It's really bad if he's got... actually it's fine. We can kill most of their stuff. Alright, turn 5. First points of damage for us. Skyclave Apparition. Don't have to worry about that card this game. One card left in my opponent's hand. Hardcast that Sword of Fire and Ice. Yikes. Damage in the air. Green card would be good because then we can blow up this sword. Let's pass the turn. Don't forget this costs 1 extra to cast because of the Thalia on our opponent's side of the board. Sink that mana, opponent. Sink that mana. Oh, interesting equip. Alright. Swear I already clicked on the scout, but that's fine. That stuff's down. Another fucking flying thing. Alright. Take 2. Daybreak. Daybreak is sort of awkward. We need like ethereal armor or rancor or some shit. Alright, we need exactly Daybreak off the top, I'm pretty sure. I just can't cast these 2-mana auras this game. Be much better if we had the Spider Umbra. We're able to block. We could find Path to Exile, which is an argument to... No, that's not an argument because we can't even cast that this turn. Literally need Daybreak off the top. It's a start. If we cast it though, we fucking die to the stupid things. Oh my god. Good times. It was nice knowing everyone here. So you got the path as well. Well, this same hand with a Bogle as the creature instead would be a very different game. Having Dried Arbor is like such a ridiculous disadvantage. It's not funny. Maybe our opponent doesn't realize that he has lethal. Maybe he wasn't paying attention to the Horizon Canopy active. But he's been attacking with them every turn anyway. Cool. Revelio, Hando. Rip. On to the next one. Alright, welcome back for match number 4, everyone. Versing Team Game Warning and lost the Daro this time on the draw. Alright, so this hand is definitely lacking a hexproof creature. If we had it, we'd keep, but we don't. So we're going to mulligan. Dried Arbor is just far too vulnerable in the blind. Opponent keeping a7, and we're going down nicely. Oh my god, our only land is Dried Arbor here. I guess we can keep and hope to draw a different land, but keep the Dried Arbor just in case. It's pretty bad. Ditch Spirit Dancer, ditch Path. Yeah, I think so. Really sucks because Dried Arbor doesn't tap for white either, and both our auras are white. Oh boy. Find us land. Come on, opponent. Splendid. Temple Garden. Good start. Go, Tim. Well, I kind of would like this path to exile now, but, you know. Play a guy, pass the turn. Alright, if the top deck gods are favouring us like they were last burn in match 2, we'll be top decking Daybreak Coronet right about now. Right, ooh, clever Lumimancer. Riftbolt on the suspend, on the exile. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of value blocking this clever Lumimancer for free. Alright, I think I go Hyena Umbra Bogle here actually and just leave both back on defense. Bogle can block Lumimancer regardless. Enchanted Bogle can block the Scout, the Guide, sorry. Guide in a Prowess build is a little bit questionable. A life total is also very low here though. An effect like Crash Through is going to be devastating for us. Skill of the Critics is not Crash Through. Although we're on 6, our opponent could have enough burn in his hand to end our days. Razorverge Thicket to hand. No other effects. Cool. Daybreak. Daybreak. Pog Champ. Let's go. Frickin' hell. Alright, so now we're dodging exactly Skull Crack from our opponent. Let's go, Bogle Man. So close, so far away. Opponent concedes. Ah, man. You love to see it. What a game for the Bogle deck. Ripping like a god. Alright, Leyline comes in. Maybe Damping Sphere is as well, actually. Now that they've got... This deck's got the clever Lumimancer, so... Spirit Mantle's like okay, but slow. Want like all our removal. Of course, Spirit Dancer is just way too vulnerable. Yeah, let's take out that for that and get into it. Alright, this hand looks like a pretty good place to start. Let's go ahead and keep Leyline of Sanctity on the board. Turn 1. Turn 1, clever Lumimancer. Alright, what's can our opponent turn 2 kill without, like, through Leyline? That would be very impressive. We miss on mana, on white mana, but get our Scout down regardless. So probably like look to double Totem Armor next turn, maybe single. Assuming I get given the option. Goblin Guide, alright, help us Goblin Guide. Goblin Gods, let's go. What's on top? No! Not like this, guys. Not like this. Could block the Lumimancer, but we get set pretty far behind if that's the game plan. Lightning Bolt, targeting himself. I'll take it. Alright, one more draw for that juicy land. Double red. Changing it to red-white, maybe? Could be a Metamorphose. I'm gonna like look to block this Goblin Guide. It's really bad if he has Boros Charm though. Okay, he's just not attacking with it. I'll just take. I can't afford to be blocking this guy. Alright. Eidolon. Weird. That's really weird. Land. Let's go. Oh, I'm so sorry, opponent. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a rip. Opponent concedes. Alright. Ripping Daybreaks like a god off the top is just too much for our opponent. The icing on the cake as well is we're only running 3 ley lines and hit it multiple times there. So match number 5, currently 3-1, won the die roll versus Oliver Shagia. And hand's good, let's go. Hand is very good. Alright, poster boy, let's get out there, get this thing started. So it could be a bit of a medical for the next week. Just playing Bogles to try and beat up on all these red-white Prowess decks people are going to be trying. That's the Triome deck. Just like more damage to do it this way. I kind of don't like not using my mana properly next turn though. But we just get more damage in and go more aggressive here. This is Jeskai land, so probably a Stoneforge Mystic deck with like Spell Quellers and whatever else, we'll have to see. Flagstones. Alright, opponent growing their army. Growing their land army. Let's see what lands they go after. Island, and I guess they get a plains of some description, but it could be a shock land. Ooh, 4 color. Alright. 4 color gross stuff. Alright, let's get in there for a bunch and put our opponent down to 9. Hopefully, they're not packing these Kai's Guiles that we fear like there's no tomorrow. They also have the potential to do like a Cryptic Command or something and tap us down. The odd turn 3 Cryptic Command, not too shabby. Savvy Triome. Broad prairies feed the human sanctuary of Dranith and conceal the network of caverns where giant cats make their dens. Is that giant cat Lyris? Lyris is black-white. Ragran meets the sea with jaws wide, its coast spiked with teeth of crystal granite. Of crystal and granite. Alright, bounce the Daybreak, I assume. Uh-huh. Ethereal Armor off the top for the win, Pogs. Valakut. Okay. Oh my god. No Force of Negation either. Opponent concedes. Alright. Good start. The looks like maybe a Scapeshift deck here. Gadok Tig is like helpful, but at the same time, it dies to a lot of what they do: Lightning Bolt, Path to Exile, and Teferi bounce, Cryptic bounce, etc. Oh, I guess Cryptic can't bounce it actually. Does stop their Jace, stops their Scapeshift. I think it's mostly reasonable. I think my most highly valuable card here is probably going to be Suppression Field. Path to Exile is pretty bad. Could bring in like Leyline of Sanctity, but then it very easily gets bounced by Teferi or Cryptic. They probably don't have Blood Moon. Not sure this is the matchup for Rest in Peace either. I'd take out one Spirit Mantle for the second Gadok Tig, and we can get into it. Good old no creature hand. Mulligan. Opponent also mulligans. Okay, and we're going down again. Actually got the 13 creatures in our deck for a change, and it's not good enough, counting the Dried Arbor, of course. Alright, I guess we keep this 5. Opponent keeping a 6. I'm gonna dish a Horizon Land because Kaya's Guile is very scary. Fuck off, man. Okay, that's fine. Reclaimer is okay. I thought they were doing the old Thoughtseize thing, and I'm just like, how can we beat decks that just do that rubbish? But we are good. For now. Alright, unfortunately we're gonna throw land back here. We can fetch Shock pretty comfortably. Might actually just run out double Sentinel's Eyes, just in case my opponent wants to counter. Because obviously Ethereal Armor is very valuable. Fetch Shock for Remand is not the worst thing for us. Looks like my opponent is actually 5 colors. They have revealed the black this game from that Overgrown Tomb, actually. We didn't... Oh, wait, no, we saw the black. What didn't we see? We didn't see green last game, actually. But we saw Valakut, so we could have assumed, yeah. Okay. Alright, so opponent goes for the old Dryad of Elysian Grove here. Does actually tap out though, so we can do some stuff here. Play some auras, we can attack for a bit. They might be able to start shooting us soon with Dryad triggers though. 2 cards left in hand. Of course, they can trigger lands entering via the Elvish Reclaimer, so every turn they're guaranteed at least 1 land, I suppose. Alright, we do actually hit them to 4. Guess we're flying away from killing them. They've got 5 mana now. I guess if they Scapeshift, they get us. Oh, buddy. He's gone for the Platinum Imperium line. I don't have any paths. I don't have any Blood Moon hate. Alright, let's pack this one in. If we play the Teague there, it gets Wait, it doesn't get triggered by the Dryad? Damn. RIP team. Let's bring in Path to Exile. It's not dyssynergy with our Gadok Tigs. I'll take out the Spirit Mantle. Suppression Field seems a little bit better now. Maybe we take out a Sentinel's Eyes as well. Go with that. Alright, game 3. No creature. Sweet, no land. Alright, well, it's gonna end like that, is it? Just like a single land and we can keep and do reasonable. Alright, whatever, we have to keep this. Bottom land. And an Ethereal Armor. And we get into it. Turn 1 Reclaimer. There he is. Not a bad find. We'll just Spirit Dancer pass. Then we can like Ethereal Armor, chain some auras, or at least get in for some damage before a bounce effect. Or we can, yeah. And we can Gadok Tig afterwards. As long as Spirit Dancer doesn't bite the dust, that is. Alright. Watch us flood out on this mulligan. Good times. Go team. Guess there's like... we probably don't play around Blood Moon. Alright, let's hope the top of our library is good to us. Like, a lot of decks that were doing the Madcap package just stopped doing it because it was just took up too many sideboard slots and wasn't good enough against it, like good enough against enough of the field. I guess this opponent feels with all of the red-white prowess running around that maybe it's a good meta decision. And I mean, they stole a game from us there, so not too bad. So I want to dodge the Skyclave Apparition here as well, hopefully. Mardu colors with green. Seven cards. Which wonderful creature do you want to murder, opponent? Guarantee you I've not got the follow-up for it to matter. Valakut. Alright. Dryad. Alright. Well, this is 2 lands away from taking triggers. 1 land away from taking triggers. We just like chain off and win. I'd really like that. I would really like that. Alright, crack. All in on core. Not something I do super frequently these days. Oh, that's pretty good. Aura? Not an aura. Alright, still we have a pretty fat core Spirit Dancer. I swear to God, if this opponent Path to Exiles here. I guess we're just not winning anyway in that spot, but yeah, it'll be frustrating. Alright, so we switch our opponent off Scapeshift. They can still play a land and get a million Dryad of Elysian Grove triggers. I guess if they play a fetch land, they can get 3 different triggers there, plus a Reclaimer trigger, so maxing out on 5 triggers with the extra Dryad of... No, 7 triggers with the extra Dryad of Elysian Grove thing? Shit. That's a bit. That is a fair bit. Alright, so we hope they miss their land drop. Rip. Alright, Tig, you've served us well, my friend. No Scapeshift. That's so frustrating. Another, just one more aura. We would have had that 3 extra damage to kill our opponent. Well, they're not just casting Scapeshift. Alright, they're doing some maths with whether or not they can kill Core Spirit Dancer or not. Seems sort of interesting that they didn't consider that before attacking the Gadok Tig. Maybe they've got like Cryptic Command or something in hand, but we can't beat Cryptic Command either. Just note, like, what lands our opponent has doesn't matter because they all tap for all colors for my opponent right now. Bog. Goodbye, Graveyard. Rip Teague in the graveyard. Has been banished even further, people. Alright, there's the Windswept Teeth being cracked. Trigger is targeting face. What other action have we got? Is it just Scapeshift? Of course it is. No? Bring to light. So we're surely just dead. We'll let our opponent do their thing though. Oh, he goes for the Supreme Verdict? We can still technically live and do stuff. Gadok Tig off the top for the Pog people. No Gadok Tig. We can like Dryad Arbor and protect it. Alright, pass the turn. Triome intapped. Dryad Arbor ready to boogie. Spell. Spell again. Playing around Mana Leak here. Alright, can't play around Mana Leak with this one, but can look to push damage through like a Snapcaster Mage or something. Opponent concedes, we get the win. Oh my goodness, 4-1 people. Well, that last game was probably a little bit fortunate, but yeah, definitely feels good to get the win there. As you can see, the list seems to be in a good place at the moment, especially when you're just ripping rubbish off the top against these burn decks. Rubbish Coronets, just getting those free wins, cashing them in. So yeah, I think if the leagues I played telling us anything at the moment, we probably want an extra Leyline of Sanctity because that card's been like super important for us. Probably at the stage, I reckon we can remove Rest in Peace. Graveyard decks seem to have disappeared a little bit. And like control decks maybe a little bit as well with these like hyper aggro things that are going on. It means we do have an extra sideboard slot. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the extra Torporob, I reckon. You could have an extra path as well. I'm going to remove the Rest in Peace, put in an extra Leyline, so we're running the 4 Leyline, put in an extra Torporob, And that should be a pretty good list for us, guys. So yeah, thanks everyone so much for stopping by and watching the video here today. I do hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it and the results that came with it. If you are new here, be sure to follow for like daily Bogle content and ring that bell for more. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you next time. 1 hour league, boom.